Uh, no, Mary, you need to give me permission to record, please.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I am.
I don't think so.
Well, just because you fixed it really fast doesn't mean that it wasn't incorrect the first time.
Okay, whatever you say, Chris.
Welcome aboard, all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Aquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll.
Okay, so we are special guest today.
We do. And I want you to let you know, Mary, it is a toss-up on whether I edit any of that out.
Well, on the YouTube, it's not going to be edited out anyway. So what's the point? Okay, so we have a series that we're talking about the realities of trade shows.
Mm-hmm.
So the last episode was with Todd Shelley, who is a director of a very large trade show conglomerate. Okay. Is that a good word, Chris?
I think so.
Corporation?
Okay, whatever. All right, so more than one.
Leader in dog grooming conferences.
The leader, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so and we have today's Chrissy Neumyer Smith, who is running a new show, a new-ish show, a second-year show, the Teton
Grooming Expo.
Teton Grooming Expo. Okay,
Yeah.
So this is a tiny show and it's a new show. So we want to get we wanted to get a different perspective, going from a large trade show to actually putting together a small trade show. So welcome, Chrissy.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, and Mary, I have the first question. I have the very first question for Chrissy that I think will set the tone and is extremely appropriate.
Go ahead.
Miss Neumyer Smith, is there, in fact, enough alcohol in your entire state to help you deal with the stresses of putting the show on? Have you had to extend into other states yet?
I have not.
Okay.
Not.
Excellent.
The occasional beer and a good crochet hobby has really taken the edge off.
Okay. All right. So what you're telling us is that you have channeled your stress into healthy, productive things and will have 20 scarves to sell at the expo. 45?
Yeah, right. When I get stressed out, crafting helps. So
okay.
If I'm stressed out and I can pick up a crochet hook and just make a big rectangle blanket. Yep, it's stressful. It's stressful, but not super bad.
That will not,
we're still a month out.
Yeah, we're still a month out. And by the way, before anyone gets excited, I'm positive that those blankets will not be for sale at the expo because they cost money to ship and they're bulky. There you go. Now you're off the hook. People won't be looking for crafts at the show.
Okay, so what happened is that last year, Gabby Finney, and you may not have been there, but Chris and I were both there, and it was a nice little show.
It was fun.
It was a nice location. It was a fun little show, and there was really good turnout, I thought, for a first year show.
Yeah,
and then Gabby decided that this was not what she wanted to do, and trust me, I can understand that. Because what is not on my bucket list is running a trade show.
Not mine either, but I'm going to put it on there just so I can.
Well, sometimes things are forced upon us, and somehow running a trade show ended up on your to-do list.
It did.
And I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, not mine. Okay, so I could understand, that this is not something everybody wants to do, or even with the best intentions, that, been there, done that. Yeah, let's move on to the next thing.
Well, and Gabby moved out there from my area. She was in New Hampshire. So she was one of the graduates from the school that asked the school, would you guys want to take it over? When she decided she just couldn't do it. But she moved out there from New Hampshire and said, there are no trade shows out here, and really wanted one. So it's an area that's been underserved for quite some time, which is, kind of a fun opportunity to bring some education to an area, but it is kind of out in the boonies.
Yeah. Last year I drove out, and from Washington, which you think is like, I don't know, next door to Idaho. Okay.
Not a New England next door. It's an out west.
No, there's a new definition of next door.
That's a Midwest next door.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's what, an 8-hour drive for you, right? That's like
No,
me driving to Hershey.
14-hour drive.
Hours. Wow. Okay.
Okay. 14-hour drive out to that way. And I'm in Washington. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's, it was definitely an underserved area, and people from that area are not going to drive like 14 hours to go to the Tacoma show.
Maybe not. It's hard to say. We'll see.
But I mean, the point that I'm trying to make, it is an underserved area. Okay.
Well, no, to go to the Tacoma show, maybe not, because those are PNW folks. There's not the Midwest folks. That area, we did get people driving 8 to 14 hours.
Montana.
Utah folks are planning on being
Utah folks, a lot of Utah folks.
Okay.
A lot of people I talked to were like, oh yeah, it was only 12 hours. It was like only a 12-hour drive. And I'm like, wow.
So I have never been out that far. I haven't been out there. I think the furthest out I've been is Iowa, and the furthest south is Texas and Florida. But I've done the drive from New Hampshire to the Carolinas. So I mean, like the long drives. Yeah.
Okay, but let's put things into perspective. Okay. So when I lived in New York, my kids were little, we drove the kids to Disney, Florida.
Yeah, I did that when I was a kid. My parents spent 4 days doing it with us.
Well, technically it's a 24-hour drive.
Technically, yeah.
Okay. How many days that is depends on just how eager your father is to get the kids in the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Death by accuracy. Yeah. Yeah.
So
how many times they also get lost?
Yeah.
If it's my family.
Well, no.
Oh no.
Okay, just a little fun story. Okay. So my father worked for New York City Transit Authority. His division was the buses. Okay. And apparently somebody got a little pissed off at work. This is probably like in the 70s or something like that. And he was pissed and he was quitting, and he was going to go to Florida, and he was going to go to Florida via one of the New York City Transit Authority buses. He literally made it down to like Delaware before somebody noticed he was actually doing that.
Oh no.
And it
Wait,
only
driving the bus?
yes. And the only reason it was even noticed is because that one of the supervisors was coming back from vacation and passed the bus on the other side of the road, said, hey, that's a New York City Transit Authority bus. What's it doing in Delaware?
Wow.
Were there passengers on the bus?
No.
Okay.
There were just, he was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm leaving, and I'm taking this bus with me.
You can come get it when I get to where I need
Got
to
a
be.
ride. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And
long drives are tough. They're fun sometimes, but
they're fun
hard.
when you're okay. So like Beth and I and Chris joined us one year. Here goes Pooh. Somebody's coming in. Hold on a second. We got a moment for Pooh.
Oh, those teeth though. Look at that angry face. Someone has the nerve to come near his mommy.
Okay, we're good now?
Not good yet.
Not good yet. Pooh says,
Oh,
Pooh says
Pooh.
what?
Fuck.
Yes.
I fucking hate people.
That's what Pooh says right now, Mary.
Yep.
FYI.
Oh my God.
Okay. So anyway, so where were we?
Me being fucking pleased with myself. That's where we were.
A bus driving
Um,
out to Delaware.
Yeah. Buses driving to Delaware, long,
Long
Oh,
long.
yes. Okay.
It's
So
out in the boonies. But
Road
what I
trips.
I
Yeah.
will say is one of the things that absolutely warmed my heart about the show last year is almost everyone I talked to in the classes, this was their first trade show because it was one they could get to. So it was clearly an underserved area, and everyone was like lovely and eager for education and networking and talking to other groomers and shopping, and it was a blast.
Yeah. There have been a lot of people who are like, we don't know how to sign up. We don't know how to do any of this. We've never experienced a
Right.
trade show, and we just walk them through it,
So
and
who-
also
who
it's an
needs-
awesome opportunity to try to compete.
and Pooh is having a moment. So why don't we take a commercial break?
Okay. Right
So
before
keep
we
jumping.
take that commercial break, I would like everyone to know, welcome to episode number 207, recorded on April 13th and will be airing on Wednesday, April 19th. And everything else in the world seems to have changed. Positive Ed has too, but for the better. Online learning is here to stay, and Positive Educational Training has brought the trade show to you with Summit memberships. For one monthly price of $97, you get 6 to 10 hours of content streamed live to your sofa, or let's be honest, grooming table. Forgot to attend live? No problem. You have 6 weeks to watch at your convenience. That's 3 weeks more than non-members, and for up to $50 less than non-members paid. With a monthly support call and summits tailored to the pet industry and designed to include all learning styles. What are you waiting for? Check out positiveed.com today and get the support you need to take action in your business.
Okay, maybe we need to change up the commercials just a little bit.
Well, as soon as you give me a script, a new
Okay.
sponsor,
Does it worry you that
will-
I can lip sync to that?
I will do
Hey,
that. And
you
did
know-
you like the trick I did where I could drink water and you could still hear my voice?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Right? I'm talented.
He's amazing.
I did not realize when I was grooming, when I was like leaving messages on people's phones, this is like pre-text days. So we're going back to like the Stone Age, okay? That when I would leave my phone number, I was actually like singing the phone number. Okay.
8675309. 8675309.
Until I get to one of my clients' houses and there's like, you know what? Everyone knows what your phone number is. I'm like, okay. Because my kids sing it all the time.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I get
had
like,
a
can I
jingle.
pay them or something to like just
Oh.
There's nothing
Back in the
wrong with
day when you would
jingle.
leave your message and it was on somebody's like in their living room being recorded on a cassette tape and broadcast across
cassette
the living
tape.
room, right?
Yep.
Like I had left my name, my business. I just like identified who it was and they already knew who I was, but I was like identifying myself. And then somebody said something really rude in my house and it was hilarious and all the laughter started. And I'm like, oh my God, we just broadcast that in a customer's home. You guys. The owner picked up. She's like, oh, hello. And I'm like, please delete that.
like, oh no, we're
What I
keeping
just
that for a long
broadcast across
time.
your living room.
Oopsie.
I can tell you off the air what it was said, but it was
Yeah.
not good.
Okay.
Was it
so-
was it worse than stuff we say on the air?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, you
Okay.
could tell us and then Chris can decide if she wants to edit it out or not. But I will forewarn you, she probably won't.
She probably
Was
won't.
it worse than fuckity fuckball
Okay.
soup?
Okay. So earlier that day, my dog, my puppy, had gotten into jelly beans. And I'm on the phone and I leave this message and my husband comes in and yells, "Jelly bean eaten." And everybody in the room just lost it, that he's still mad at a dog who like got into jelly beans hours earlier. And I'm just mortified, like, oh my God. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, no.
Well, okay. In your husband's defense, was it a female dog?
It was.
So she was quite literally a jelly bean eating bitch. There is nothing technically wrong with what he said.
That's true.
So
I'm sure her
that's
10-year-old
staying
son
in.
would love to hear that when he came home from school and checked messages.
So
and this is cassette player in the living room broadcasting things around the house. Oh my gosh.
okay, so my mom was a teacher for many years. She taught special ed. She taught everything from like preschool to, she got her degree in special ed and taught the pullout classes. She liked teaching the little kids. And she gets called into the principal's office one day, because I bet you didn't know that teachers could get called into the principal's office. Oh yeah. Someone was all kinds of mad. Did you tell them what the word bitch meant? And my mother, relatively proper Southern woman, went, yes, yes, I did. They were using it in class. And I said, a bitch is a female dog. Are you calling your friend a female dog? And because that was the non-vulgar dictionary definition, they could do jack and or shit to her. But yeah.
So my hubby asked me one day, so if bitch is a female dog, what's a male dog? I'm like, a dog. And he's like, no. His face, he's like, no. Really?
So when we call women bitches and men dogs,
I mean,
yeah.
It's fair.
Sadly, yes. All right,
Okay.
topic. Squirrel, back to topic.
Okay. So do you have a question, Chris?
What are some of the things you wish you knew that you can talk about before you said yes?
So working on this little show, right? It's a little show. Things that I wish I could do differently would be to go back and take control of most of it earlier. There are just a lot of people helping, and that causes confusion. It's not a bad thing that there are a lot of people helping. Thank God a lot of people are helping, but sometimes we're both doing the same thing, or there are multiple people working on the same thing, or something everybody thought someone else was doing, just a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I think that because I picked up later that I'm kind of like, ooh, there are times where I'm just a little bit like, deer in the headlights. I don't know what to do next. Was that a thing we needed to do? Okay, how do I get on it? But generally, I feel as though I just want to fix. Like, I'm a fixer. That's kind of what I do. Like, okay, what can we do? What can we fix? How can we work it out? Because generally, there's lots of ways that we can make things work. So, but I would definitely have wanted to be more involved very, very early, instead of kind of like, well, I guess I can kind of take over, which kind of happened in February.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, a couple months out.
What were some of the things that kind of surprised you that you did not really fully grasp that you needed to do in the beginning?
So I think some of that was there were things that I knew I didn't know anything about, but like the whole competition thing, like, okay, what do the competitors need? What do they need? How do they prepare their dogs? Where do they do that? How do they do that? What do we need for like times and all these other things that I'm like, I know that there's a system that other people use, but I've competed twice and it was in the late 90s and it was our local show. So like I got up at 3 a.m., brought that dog to the grooming shop I worked at, opened up, like prepped that dog and put him in the car and we drove out to do a day. So a lot of that stuff was stuff I have not experienced. I have no experience with. And which is fun to learn about. Yeah, fun to learn about. That's me being a Pollyanna. Isn't that great?
Isn't that a
Cool
wonderful
too.
thing to learn about? Wait, no,
To learn
crocheting.
about. Yeah, keep crocheting. find a hobby. But that I think that those were some of the things. I don't have the background with a lot of the vendors. So I was like, I don't have these connections. I mean, I'm making those connections. I'm doing this to make friends. So, I'll meet anybody and talk to anybody, but it's not like I have a bunch of people that I know of to say, hey, are you interested in vending at our show? So some of those things I was like, okay, I'm unprepared for. I think I knew about them, but was unprepared. Does that make sense?
That does, that 100% makes sense. So that was a whole lot of digression on that segment, but we're going to take a commercial and come back and actually do topicy things. And speaking of continuing education, because we either were or will be, join the Andis world-class education team each month for live interactive virtual classes. You'll learn new and trending styles, as well as tips and tricks from some of the best groomers in the industry. Whether you're looking for basic skills, trending styles, advanced techniques, or even just ways to spark your creativity, the new Andis Grooming Education site is your source for finding what you need to create your way for success. Try new techniques, learn from the pros, and grow your confidence today at andis.com/groomer education. Traveling Groomer podcast listeners, hey, that's you, can get 25% off your first course today with the code VEGROOMING at checkout on andis.com/groomer education. Ta-da! So what is it like having to negotiate and deal with the venues?
So some of that was already set up for me.
Okay.
That was already decided on. So I haven't actually had to deal with the conference center or the hotel very much. A couple times I've called for answers about things, quick questions and stuff, but those were already set up. Like I said, I kind of took over late. But I think I'm trying to decide, and you guys will get this reference. I'm trying to decide if it were the Muppet Show, am I Kermit or Scooter?
We know who I am.
Right? Oh, yeah. There you go. You're Fosse. Yeah.
If
we're talking about the Muppet Show, am I Kermit or Scooter? Or maybe both at this point, There are other people helping. There are other people doing stuff,
That's an excellent question.
That is. We should put, which Muppet are we?
Which Muppet are we? Growing
So
up,
we
I
would
was always
kinda
Miss
like to
Piggy.
We would like to, well, no, I'm not Miss Piggy.
I was always Miss Piggy growing up.
Okay. And yes, so we would like to know which Muppet we are. And those who are putting answers here, no, I am not Miss Piggy, so pick someone else. Okay.
I've got the nose for Gonzo.
For YouTube listeners, I am holding a hint. I even own and it's one of my favorite hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you'd get the reference. Yeah. So trying to decide if I'm Kermit or Scooter, which helps me feel better about it. But it is a lot of work, and it feels like I kind of get up in the morning and hold up my phone and say, I wonder what fire we're putting out today, and see what I have for messages and emails.
Fun, happy fun time. So after the episode, I'll call you on Facebook and I'll go over my list from November and I'll see what things haven't been done. How about that? Well, we can go over that for a little bit.
Is that what we're doing? Those
That
will be
is
the
what we're
flyers I
doing.
put out tomorrow morning.
We're going to try to keep it to 15 minutes. Well,
All right. Good.
okay. Because we have things to do, like lives. And my dog needs a haircut. I'm struggling to not make it a Miami trim.
Oh.
Well, it's puppy coat.
Yeah.
Well, you're coming into summer, so
Yeah.
it's spring, and by the time summer actually comes, they'll have coat again.
It's very true.
You
And
know,
chances are he's not going to be used for anything until like
Fall, right?
Hershey. Yeah.
okay, you got plenty of time. I would
Yeah.
buzz that dog right down.
That's actually not the worst idea.
You were just looking for someone to say it was
tempted.
okay.
I was just looking for permission. I'm going to check with
We give you permission.
just bracelets.
Yes. Because I guarantee you, if I had a standard poodle, that's the clip he'd be in.
I have border collies, and today I was like, oh, we have a tournament this weekend. I should do your feet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all they get. And I'm still like slacking off on it.
I've got short-coated dogs. I still have to put them on my to-do list so that they get their baths.
Yep.
I have to schedule them an appointment.
All right.
Yes.
Topic. So you said, the competition was a little bit of an unknown quantity.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what's been more challenging corralling? Is this even a safe question to ask? Probably not. Corralling vendors, speakers, running the contest, or attendees. I don't think that's a
little
safe
bit
question.
more. I think it's a little bit more about trying to get more vendors. We had a lot of trouble,
Yeah.
like, oh, come on. It's going to be a fun show, but it is a second-year show.
Yeah.
It's a little risky, right? I mean,
Mhm.
who knows what we'll get for numbers, and it's out of the way. Being out there in the Teton, Idaho area,
Yep.
everybody has like a connecting flight. Very few people have like a flight that goes directly there. And so for a lot of the vendors, that was a hard thing to overcome.
And it was like
It was
when
hard.
when it was a brand new show, and before I went to buy a ticket, I was like, it's 5 minutes from an airport. That's fantastic. And then I went, oh, it's a regional airport. Oh,
Yeah.
fudgy sickles.
Yeah.
What do you mean you want me to hang out at Dallas for 6 hours? No.
Yeah. It's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah, so I was going to say that even for me, like, there was a nonstop flight actually sold out. Okay. And it was really cheap, but it was also Alaskan Airlines. And this area, because Alaska is this is their hub, they cancel a lot of flights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So even if I could have gotten that nonstop flight to Idaho Falls, there is there's a really good chance it could have been canceled.
Oh God.
So I opted, even from Washington, I have to have a layover. I'm laying over in Salt Lake City and then onwards to Idaho.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people were worried about, initially when we talked about, the school taking over the show, that was one of the things I looked at, and I'm like, what does it cost for me to fly out there? I'm in New Hampshire, like, can I fly out of Manchester? Do I have to fly out of Boston? Ended up being Boston, because trying to go from Manchester was sort of like, and here are the 50,000 stops you can make in the 2 days you're going to spend in Arizona.
Boink, 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 just like, yeah.
Have you guys
Yeah.
played Ticket to Ride? It's a board game where you're just trying to collect all the trains across the country.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if it's going to take you longer to fly than to drive.
I know, right? But I remember looking through and I'm like, okay, so before I say yes to this, it's going to be tricky to find a flight. It's going to cost some real money to do it. I actually kind of considered, do I want to do like a cross country train, like kind of see the country as I do it? It's kind of tempting, but
I've
do you
100%
think about
done
it?
that. I've
Yeah.
thought about that. I've looked at, okay, can I get there by train? I actually looked at that one year for Atlanta because I was sitting in the airport watching the snowfall and watching the flights get canceled and then started again and then canceled and then on again. And then, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
And I'm
especially with
like,
regional
Mhm.
airports who are like
Mm.
really quick to cancel flights. I flew out of Westchester County Airport to go down to the Atlanta Pet Fair one year, and that's a small regional thing. And they literally cancel flights if they see snowflakes in the air. And I can remember sitting there, and we got to get down to Atlanta, and again, they're canceling flights. Our flight was actually the only flight to get out. It was crazy. And it
Wow.
wasn't just the area. All of the speakers for the Atlanta Pet Fair that were basically above, was it the Mason-Dixon line? Whatever cuts the country in half.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were north of it, a lot of the speakers didn't make it because that was and it was March.
mhm. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Snow, I mean, if we end up with rainstorms or something, are we all going to end up stuck, but yeah, some of that
Meanwhile,
stuff's just anytime you travel though. Gotta say,
meanwhile, Newark Airport, we're used to
Mhm.
snow, to Champ. I was sitting on a flight, I want to say to Pasadena once because it was February. And they were like, okay, we de-iced the plane. All right. We sat here waiting to take off so long. We have to de-ice the plane again. That made me feel really confident about getting there, but we got there.
Yeah, no, Chris, my personal philosophy
Oh, wow.
is if you think this plane is not safe to fly, I'm good with it sitting on the ground.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
I'm okay with not going. Thanks.
I'm okay. We'll figure out alternate routes of getting there. I mean, Beth and I were to the point we're thinking, oh my God, we got to get down to Atlanta. We were going to just go rent a car and just get in the car, just drive straight down through to get down to Atlanta. Fortunately, our flight took off, but that was decision time there for a minute.
Was that the last time you flew? Did you start driving from then?
Yeah, it was after that year. We were like, no. We just got to drive. And I think the next year you joined us on the car ride down.
Yeah, that was
Interesting.
fun. That was interesting. If I'd have only known then, I could have caught 20 F-bombs from Mary
Yeah,
as she was driving.
I think I just put her in shock or
Not
something.
from Mary. Never from
know.
Mary.
Oh, I know. I was too busy going, well, this is before we were doing the podcast. This was before the podcast was like
Before
a
the
twinkle in
sound
our
clips could
eye.
be used in any
Exactly. I
various
didn't
way.
know I would have a reason. Oh, Chris
And
with
I'm
a
like,
time
you
machine.
snooze, you lose.
Now
That's
we
right. You should have
know.
seen into the future.
Yeah.
Now we know what
Note
Chris
to
would
everyone
do with
out
the time
there: if your friends
machine.
are doing something, document it.
Pics or it didn't happen.
Yes, right.
You never know.
Listen, I am so glad that all of my shenanigans were done pre-internet.
Facebook. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Not all of my shenanigans were they were all pre-Facebook, but some of them are on video.
Well, there might be
Those
some
don't go
Polaroids and Kodachrome out there, but yeah, good luck finding them.
Yeah, there were videos. There were videos.
All right. Let's get our third commercial break in. Handby Engineering isn't just for mobile groomers. I have loved my Handby equipment for years before I even thought of getting a mobile van, and I wouldn't want to groom without my Bathing Beauty and hair vac. With every piece of equipment in their van and outside of it, having its own QR code linked to troubleshooting tips and fixes. These low maintenance workhorses turn potential roadblocks into mere speed bumps. Check them out yourself at hanvey.com. All right. And I just realized that we've gone so far off the rails that we have just gone into three groomers chatting.
Okay,
Well,
so
we were
which
talking
is
about
fun.
travel,
Okay, travel. Oh, phew.
right?
Woo,
That's how we
okay,
got
that
there.
totally
got
had
there.
to do with our topic.
It did.
Excellent.
See? You're
All right.
okay.
It's okay, Chris.
Okay.
All right,
it's okay.
so back to traveling. So getting to a small I guess location is kind of really key. And this, I
Yeah.
guess, is
Mhm.
pros and cons
Yeah.
to like everything. You know,
Sure.
a
Yeah.
smaller town close to a regional airport, you have the hassles of actually traveling, but the area
Mhm.
might be more reasonable. As opposed to a major metropolitan city, which we could fly in nonstop, probably from somewhere, and then
Mhm.
trying to get a location that is not booked up 2-3 years and is not running you a mint.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is when we go into like a city, right? For instance, going into a city, don't they all start kind of looking alike? You know, like, oh, I need to go to a pharmacy. I'll go to the CVS, like
Uh-huh.
that they start looking like the same things. And I kind of like a place with some character.
You
So
know what?
fingers crossed that more people like the idea of like, well, let's do it for the character.
That's one of the things that I like about small shows and also this show in particular, because it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I want to see the
And
falls.
I don't, Mary, with the falls, those I'm trying to remember if I saw the falls or not.
The falls?
Yeah.
Oh, the falls. I don't know if I made it quite. There was like a little path that went along and
Yeah.
we did walk and I did get some pictures. I don't know how extensive the falls are, I guess I'm trying to
And
say.
that's what I mean. Yeah. Like we went down in the downtown area. There was a sign that said Japanese Friendship Garden. And we're like, what's this that we have to go see? So we were walking around and there were some falls, but I don't
Mhm.
know if they were the falls. Like
I
we
don't know.
saw a lot of pretty things. And I legit I grew up where I could see the New York skyline. All right. So I'm 10 minutes from Newark Airport. So I got off the plane in this regional airport in this tiny area and I went, why does the air smell like nothing? Why does it just, I don't smell anything. Maybe a hint of grass. I'm right outside an airport. How do I not smell anything? What the actual fuck? Not sure I trusted air I couldn't see
Or smell.
Mm.
or smell. Like, is it really even there? I mean, I know I'm still alive, but is it really there?
You just bring yourself a smog covered scarf and we'll just wrap it around your face and
Yeah, so air should not be chunky.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. I hear it's beautiful out there. And like I said, I haven't been, so I'm excited. I want to see the falls. I want to explore a little bit. Mountains are pretty. I live in New Hampshire, so plenty of mountains out here too. But
Yeah, but you know what? The topography is different.
Yeah.
So I know Chris has never been to my house either, right? But when I lived in Connecticut, my house overlooked my backyard and I was on 2/3 of an acre surrounded by wetlands and trees, very green. Okay.
Nice.
So, but I have the exact same thing here. I look outside and I am surrounded by trees here, a little bit more property, but here it's the same look, but it's different. It's got different trees. It's got different bushes. There's the topography is different. So even though you have mountains in New Hampshire, it's not the same mountains in the Idaho Falls because the trees are different.
Yeah,
You can find that it's really beautiful.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm a simple girl. I like mountains and lakes and rivers, and you know, I mean, it doesn't take much for me to go, oh, that's really pretty, you know,
Yeah.
sunsets. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of out in the boonies. It is. But that was part of why Gabby started one there. There are a
Yeah.
lot of groomers in that area who had never been to a trade show, you know, and what a great opportunity for them to not have to, you know, fly someplace. And well, maybe they might still fly there, but a great opportunity for them to have something local.
All right. So one of the things I think would sets the Teton show apart from other trade shows. I mean, yes, other trade shows have like, you know, you can get a certificate or a certification from the thing, but the certifications, depending on the class that you're taking, is actually part of the curriculum of the whole Pet Academy. And that's different. That's a different type of certification.
Yeah, it is. And part of that is, I think, as groomers, we're used to sitting in a lecture and attending a lecture and getting a certificate saying we attended.
Yeah.
But when you start
Mhm.
doing like this time, these are classes. Like you pass a class. You can sit through this class and take a test, and that's part of a certificate from a school or part of one of the courses for a larger diploma. And it's a neat opportunity because I think for many of us, you know, we want to be able to have something on our wall for our customers to say, like, listen, I do a lot of continuing ed, and that's part of how I price myself. That's part of how I take pride in my industry. You know, this is part of how I display that I'm a professional. Like, did your last groomer have a pet tech certificate on her wall saying that, like, I take pet, you know, safety and first aid seriously? I think that all those things are really different, and I'm excited about it.
Okay.
Nice. And speaking of, there are going to be pet tech classes. How many are you teaching, Mary?
They're doing two. And I just
Two.
want to make
Nice.
a point that I am not in that side of I'm not there often. Okay. In fact, the last time I was there was last year. So yes, I am doing two pet tech CPR first aid programs. They are hands-on.
Yeah.
And it's Thursday, the 18th. Is that the correct date?
Yep.
And
Yep.
Saturday, the 20th.
Saturday the 20th. Yeah.
Okay. And the Thursday class is filling up. So, and there's no, once the class fills, the class fills.
Yeah, there's a limited amount. Yeah.
It's a
In fact, if we
hands-on-
can say that for anybody who's listening, the purpose of pre-registering is to make sure you can get into the classes you want to get into.
Yes.
Some of them have a hit where a limit.
Exactly. So
You know,
that particular class, everybody has a stuffed dog, not to keep, mind you, because sometimes I have to explain that, not to keep,
no, but to learn on,
to
Yeah,
learn
which
on,
is
you
so
get
important.
so that you get that muscle memory. But we have a finite number of dogs, stuffed dogs. Okay. So what you get is the workbook, and you get a bleeding kit, and a nice certificate. However, the dogs stay put. Okay. So take advantage of
Yep.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to throw out there too, that if you have local doggy daycares or dog trainers, like there's a lot for everybody. You do not need to be a groomer to go to a grooming conference, especially if there's something like pet first aid. Like spend a day at pet first aid. My class, I'm teaching a day long that actually qualified for 4 dog trainer CEUs. So, you know, like there's other things for other industries. They can take a look. If they run a doggy daycare, they might want to do Mindy's bathing class, the bathing and prep work class. Like there's just a lot of stuff there, and the vendors, of course, and watching grooming competitions. And I think there's a lot to do. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And there might be something extra to watch. Mary and I were talking about doing a live podcast recording one there Wednesday night. So for anyone who is staying at the hotel or gets there early, there is the option for that. And I'm going to go over like what my luggage allowance is, and if I get a carry-on, then I will definitely bring my beloved soundboard.
Ooh.
Make sure it can hook up to my laptop, get another XLR mic for Mary so we can each have a mic plugged into the soundboard. Exciting.
If
So
you
exciting.
remind me, Chris, I will pack my mic.
But is your mic an XLR mic? No, that's the wrong end you're showing me, Mary. Let me make it easier for you. It's not. And I will, sorry, I got all like hoity-toity right there. Apologies.
Wow.
I got all like super fancy. It's not, it's a beautiful mic. It's not one that has a big round pluggy end that plugs into the soundboard.
It does not.
Okay. We're
has-
gonna need an
it's
extra one of, yeah, it's a USB mic.
Mm.
And although
Well, you just need an adapter for USB.
it doesn't exist,
Oh,
I went through
Poor
this.
planning.
I went through this and I tore out my hair. There is no adapter from USB to XLR because it's something about it's converting the sound from, I'm sure
What's it
someone
called?
will email me and explain it to me. It's like digital to analog and back again, and it doesn't go, it's too many. Yeah.
Well, instead of bringing your board, since we all lip sync to your ads, maybe we'll just do your ads.
Ooh,
Well, you
maybe we'll do live
Right?
ads.
We could just we could print out the scripts and maybe we could ask people who show up to read the ads.
Yeah. Right?
No.
All the options.
Oh, you just saw my head explode in real time because I'm like, but tech, but
But yeah,
that
that'd be
sounds
really fun to do.
But I do have my other, all the mics. Okay. We will discuss. I'm going to take another commercial break and give myself 30 seconds to pull my brain back together. I've been swiveling for years now with my evolution shears, but I wasn't actually born with a pair of swivel shears in my hands. Check out our website and Facebook page for our library of how-to videos, or give me a shout for a personalized guide. Your hands will thank you. Don't forget, Traveling Groomers podcast listeners get $10 off and free shipping with the code On the Road, all one word. With the code On the Road, all one word. And I forget what the end of that was because my brain went to a different place and I hit a wrong button.
Uh-oh.
But that's evolutionshares.com. And coupon code On the Road gets you $10 off, even $10 off those curved chunkers. They're
Nice.
so beautiful.
Wish list.
Anyway, yeah, but I don't know because if I don't have the soundboard, I can't randomly do this.
What did you just do?
Didn't hear anything. So I think you could without the soundboard.
I agree.
What? How did you not? What, Dipper? Okay, you didn't hear that,
Nope.
but
Nope.
you hear the commercials.
Was there like a slight tinkling sound? Is that what I was hearing?
I would check the volume, Chris.
No, the volume's about to blast my ears, but you heard the commercial though,
Yes.
Yeah.
and you didn't hear that
Nope. Nope.
or that.
One. Nope.
Nope.
fucking hate people.
Oh, there we go. That one we
That
heard.
you heard.
That we
Okay.
heard.
All right, so it's the
Oh.
preloaded ones that are totally going to show up on the episode because that records on a separate track. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I have a month to figure out how we're going to do this. And
Well, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
yeah,
It'll be fun. And there's lots of stuff going on with the show, but then there's something else that Chris, Melissa, and I have been trying to spearhead, which is holistic hangouts in the morning. And
yeah, this is one of those things that you can do at little shows that are harder to do at bigger shows, because Mary,
Yeah.
I think you talked about, you did a Reiki at Intergroom once and got practically hate mail.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Well,
it-
holistic
my-
hangouts, we were talking about doing either meeting outside or in one of the classrooms. I guess we're trying to figure out if we want to nail that down now or not, or just play it as we go. But before everything starts, like hang
Yeah.
out, Reiki share, yoga, meditation,
Singing
sniff some
bowls,
oil, be
the
a
whole thing.
hippie, whatever you want to do in the morning. But to just start the day off with just kind of this holistic hangout, which is free, and it's just a bunch of people having a good time. So if you're a crystal wielding, oil sniffing hippie, join us.
That would be me.
That would be me. Yeah. There are a lot of us.
Yeah.
And we're okay with haters. That's
Yeah.
all right. If it's not your cup of tea, I get it.
And you don't have to be 100% crunchy granola. You can be granola light, because I realize sometimes talking with people that I'm actually granola light, because I am all like crystal bowl, Reiki, vegan, yoga, yay. I heard the word cancer. If my doctor had said you need chemotherapy, I'd be like, pump me full of the poison, please. Like,
Yeah.
there was never a doubt in my mind. Like, I'm glad I didn't have to, but never a doubt. If my doctor would have pulled out and said, all right, for your type of cancer, we've shown that it's very receptive to chemotherapy and that you need this just to make sure it doesn't come back. I'm like, I don't want to die. I guess I'll get a purple glitter wig now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Even before that, like, I mean, I'm like, hey, antibiotics, that's great. Cheeseburgers, like them,
antibiotics are wonderful. Yeah.
But-
So
But there are a lot of
You
us who
are
are
s-
into that stuff.
yes,
And-
you are still welcome at the Holistic
Yeah.
Hangouts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it might just be a fun way to hang out and just chat with people.
Even if you think it's kind of hooey
Yeah.
and you're just
Yep.
like, I want to know what all this hooey is about.
Yeah. What are they doing over there? Just
and
join
you'll
in.
see- and you'll see Chris in, what color are the yoga pants you got?
Oh, I should have brought them up. I said before, I'm going to do a live advertising this. I received for Christmas from my daughter a pair of like vivid tie-dye harem pants, like knit, because
Ooh,
they made
knit.
they made her think of me.
That's awesome.
And I simultaneously went, that's amazing. And oh my God, I'm not sure I would wear these in public.
She's gonna wear them in public.
But I'm going to wear them in public for the Holistic Hangouts. So,
Probably be wearing black leggings.
so that is come to Teton to see me in, and I tried them on. They're really comfy though. So I'm saving their debut for Teton, but they might work their way into my wardrobe because they're mad comfy. And they are kind of pretty.
There you
I-
go. There you go.
I think I really, really, really like, I don't know.
There you go.
They're simultaneously pretty, but just outside my comfort zone. Like this much.
They're a bit much for Chris. That's a little alarming.
Right?
Is that the kind of thing you wear on a unicorn in the mall?
That actually would look great on a unicorn on a wall on a mall. And I'm not packing this hat. This is too much to travel with on a plane. FYI.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much. It's a nice hat.
Thank you. My Ren Fair
But yeah,
hat.
it's also a chance to be silly. I know sometimes people are like, really into meditation. I have trouble with meditation, which is why I crochet and sew and do other crafts. I have
Well,
trouble with
here's the
meditation,
thing.
but there are a lot of fun things to do.
Well, what meditation does, it like empties your brain. Okay.
Mhm.
How you empty your brain is by crocheting. That's
Mhm.
meditation.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be a complete emptying of the brain, there are different types of meditation because you can meditate on something. Okay. So because my family is very religious and there have been discussions on this and thoughts on brain emptying meditation for my very religious Southern family. I think you know where that's going. However, they can, for lack of a better word, meditate on this Bible verse or God or the beauty of nature today. And it still is shifting focus from all of the that your brain is doing at that moment.
Yep.
And it is still there and helpful.
Yeah.
So,
And to start your day with something that's kind of like, hey, let's just start the day off right. Start the day off positive,
yeah.
get ready to go off and learn stuff and maybe make some friends, Any of the introverts who are worried, I love adopting introverts. I would just bring you into my world and
Same. That
Yep.
is.
Yep. Absolutely. Anybody, if you're shy,
We
I'm
need
here for you.
buttons.
We've thought about that. Yeah. Like, do you want someone to say hi to you? I will be the person. So you put on a button that says, say hi to me. Leave me alone. I will respect that,
Yeah, there should be buttons. Talk to me and
Mm-hmm.
go away.
Yeah.
You know what?
Loner and happy.
We'll discuss this. We'll discuss this later because actually, cheaper than buttons to get a bunch of sheets of those hello, my name
Hello
is
stickers. Yeah.
hello, get a ton of hello stickers and just because I'm sure I'll have a name
I
tag or
don't know.
something on.
I think
Yeah.
pins might be fun. Maybe we ought to look at Vistaprint for traveling groomers. Leave me alone. Talk to me.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Here to network and make friends. Here for shopping and classes.
Yeah.
Not interested in getting to know anyone,
Hello, my
but there
name
are people
is.
who are painfully shy. And, I know sometimes that people are worried about going to a conference by themselves. And if you need to make friends, hi, I'm Chrissy. We're friends now. And that's pretty much how it works.
Actually, let's take our last commercial break and then I will tell you about the very first time I met Mary in person.
Okay.
It was almost exactly like that, I love being a house call groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Raypet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel. Taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse, these super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets. And now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomer sent you. My brain is still going on how to technically set this up to get the best sound. And I know exactly who I'm going to call when I have a moment to wrap my brain around his suggestions. But how Mary and I met and became friends is we were friends on Facebook. And I forget what show it was.
I'm pretty sure it was the All-American. There was only one time I went to the All-American.
I see. I thought it was because I remember it being vaguely, I thought it was Intergroom. I don't know.
You know what? The problem with Intergroom, it moved it so many times.
Exactly. That's
It's
the thing.
hard to say, well, to have I could remember walking in the doors and the Evolution booth was right here,
Mhm.
So I thought it was all American, but you know what? It could have been Intergroom.
Because Intergroom, if you walk in, Evolution is right a little bit to your left, right there. But basically, Mary and I had been friends on Facebook, and I'm at the Evolution booth as usual, as I am.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Shocker.
As one is to do. Yes.
She was born
And
with swivels in her hand, but go ahead.
He
born
was,
with
yeah.
a pair of swivels in my hand. And Mary like walks up to the booth. She looks at me. She's like stops. It's almost like she was walking past and then just stops and goes, "We're friends on Facebook. Hi." And I'm like, "Hi." And she had the crystal badge holder, and I'm like, "Are weirds connected?" Like, I see the weird in you.
I see and acknowledge the weird in you.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
And that was it. It was one of the reasons you go to trade shows.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
love at first sight.
It clearly is, because there are times when I swear it's like we're sisters arguing, or like a teenager arguing with her mom. You get one
Oh, no,
guess as to
let's
who
do
the
this.
mom is.
Yeah, no, let's do the sisters.
Okay.
Sister sounds better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't
sisters.
meet Mary in person until last Hershey.
Yeah.
I was like, how is this possible? I get to
I
meet
don't
Mary.
know.
She's like, we haven't met yet. Not in
How is that?
person. Yeah. Yeah.
But that is one of the wonderful, wonderful things about trade shows. And I think we need to figure out, I think we need to do that and have the hello, my name is introvert, please adopt me. Or
Yeah.
introvert, leave me be.
Yep. Yep. Well, and so when I was a little kid, I was really shy. Obviously, I outgrew it, but I was really shy. And I remember the feeling of, I want to join in, but I don't know what to say. So if I see someone who's really shy, I'm trying to draw them into conversation. I give them, open-ended questions, not yes, nos, where are you from? But try to help people feel included so that there's a lifeline, because I think there are a lot of people who are worried about going to a show because they're like, I won't know anyone. And that shouldn't be a reason why. You just make new friends,
And I recently found out that my husband, who is an introvert, and he and his sister were agreeing, because I think she's a little bit of one too, that the way introverts manage situations like that, and it's brilliant, because it'll make you seem like an amazing person, and then the extrovert will totally like adopt you and think you're just fantastic. He just asks people questions about themselves, like open-ended questions about themselves, to get them talking so he doesn't have to talk.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's an introvert trick. Yep.
That's a trick you do? I thought that's just, he's like, no, I work at doing that on purpose, because I don't want to talk, because things may say things. No.
Yep. Yep. And for a lot of introverts, that's a trick, except that then they end up with someone who locks eyes and now they can't get away. And it can backfire.
Yeah.
Don't be an eye locker.
That can
talking.
That can backfire for extroverts too, where it's like,
It really can.
oh shit, I'm gonna be here an hour. I'm fudged.
But, we meet all kinds. Groomers are really interesting, creative people. And so we meet all kinds of people. You're going to find your tribe,
You're going to find your tribe. You know what?
You're going to find your tribe.
I know groomers who are, and this is clearly not the same person. I know groomers who are cosplayers, SGA people, dog sport people. I'm looking at you for two of those. Also hunters, outdoorsmen, fishers, horse people.
A lot of horse people. Yep. A lot of gamers.
A lot of gamers. Like
Yeah.
other niche you think you
Gardeners,
fit,
Yeah.
gardeners, any
mhm,
other thing that you like outside of grooming, there
podcasters,
will be, yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
There will now be another groomer to help
Yeah.
you with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And not everybody owns poodles. I have border collies. So,
I just became a part of the poodle crew.
yeah,
You might have heard.
did.
You might have
I
heard.
might have heard. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have border collies.
Yeah.
Yeah. On top of doing the Teton show, my flyball club is hosting its tournament this weekend.
Oh, nice.
All sorts of stuff. At least the tournament's going to be over soon, but hosting a tournament, not certainly not as crazy as trying to host a groom expo, but still a lot of work.
Yeah. All
Yep.
right. So, Mary, did you have any more questions? Because I think we're about at an hour.
Yes, no, I think I'm good. Besides
Okay.
questions, I'll just light up her Facebook Messenger.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
we need to talk right now.
Immediately.
And I do.
All right. So I forgot what I was going to say. I think I was going to say something along the lines of safe travels, guys.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, that was fun. But now it's
Bye.
time to head home.
Bye, and thank you.
We hope you enjoyed listening.
I'll just
as
talk
much as
over
we
myself.
enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. And see you next week, guys. Safe travels.